This week in the world of news from books, beards, and brews. All right. As always, I am Bob of Tales by Bob.
I'm the Ask the Podcast, Derek.
And I am, can I say what my new title is? Can I
Yes.
say it? Yes! Freelance consultant, Tanya.
Yeah, with an emphasis on the free.
Yeah.
Freelance consultant.
It sounds super fancy.
And
Like, that's resume worthy, y'all.
She has brand ambassador Ryan to thank for that.
Thank you.
That was the winning suggestion of what we should call her now.
Thank you. Freelance
Yeah.
Freelance consultant.
Freelance consultant. And y'all feel free, please send in other suggestions, because if there's one that's like slightly more degrading but still sounds vaguely respectable, we'll run with it in a heartbeat.
And let's be honest, she doesn't deserve to keep a single name for too awful long. We'll just change
Yeah.
it fairly regularly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, she of many titles.
All right, so this is our weekly news episode.
Oh no, I need to open up the document on my phone instead of being on Facebook. I'm doing that 10-year challenge post, where everybody... Well, this is about the news.
Okay, so she's back to unpaid intern, Tanya.
that was short.
No, where it's
short
like,
list.
your
Long
first
at all.
your first Facebook
Yeah, no,
post
stop,
on like
just
your
stop,
just
picture.
stop.
Okay.
Y'all,
Dive-
I didn't age terribly, but
Wow.
these
The
11
fuck
years.
outta here.
All right, diving into
Let
the
me
news.
put that up on Facebook real
Oh
quick.
my God.
So we're going to start with booze news. So, the Distilled Spirits Council, which is a trade association for, boozy stuff, they conducted a study on the 3 states where recreational weed use has been legal the longest.
So like Colorado,
All right, that Colorado's one. We got a guess on the other 2?
Washington.
California and Washington?
Close. California and Oregon.
Oregon. Okay.
Okay.
Is it legal in California? Recently.
And it depends on what. It's not legal in all counties. It's legal
Yeah.
in some counties.
Well, that's some doo-doo. How does
Well,
that
like
work?
the counties get to vote on whether they legalize it or not. So each county decides on its own. Is kind of my understanding. So anyway, the perception has been that weed is going to cut into alcohol sales. That people are going to smoke more weed, drink
think
less,
so,
drink less
but-
liquor. Well, that's a real concern.
Yeah. I think
our-
weed would cut into your like heroin and oxy
Well,
and stuff like
No,
that.
I don't think so.
You don't think? For like pain management,
People
weed's
who-
a lot easier to get than like trying to
Oh, well,
score
if you're
some
talking about
more
like
tabs from
addiction,
dude.
well, I don't know.
For like
but-
pain management.
yeah,
probably.
but I don't.
I don't know that people do heroin for pain management.
Yeah,
They tell themselves that.
Do they, though?
But
that-
talk
but-
about it off air.
but that's the thing. All right, like
Yeah.
so-
Anyway, any hooser.
yeah, it's a real.
Why'd you cut me that look?
The perception is real
You
because
from Canada now?
I was in Ohio. That's close enough.
All right.
I saw Canada
Oh my
earlier
God.
in last year.
Bob has
we
been
did.
back here working on our
I looked at
technical
Canada over a
issues.
fence longingly, and I was like, "Oh, I don't
they-
got my passport."
I'll be 100% honest. I almost 10 minutes ago, I almost walked into the living room and told Derek to just go home. Like I was that close. I was so fed up.
Oh, this computer technology.
Yeah.
thing.
Was it approximately 20 minutes ago? Because approximately 20 minutes ago, I was like, I can just go.
I was so over. Anyway, so to get back on track.
Anywho,
So it's a real concern in the industry. I know our friend who works at the liquor store. It's one of the busiest liquor stores in the state, and the owner or the previous owner was highly concerned. Like they're part of groups lobbying against weed legalization because they think it's going to hurt their sales.
right?
So these people did a study, and so in these 3 states, spirit sales have increased.
Oh,
Beer, wine have stayed on their, and I quote, mixed to negative course. Overall sales were flat. So like the boost in liquor sales was negated by the decline in beer and wine sales.
but that was a previous trend.
yeah, that's a
okay.
So, but the other thing that they were saying was it's not really doesn't look like it's going to really hurt the industry because the industry is getting into weed.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Like InBev, which owns Anheuser-Busch, they just put $100 million into a Canadian weed company. So
I just like, why did they think that? Because like
Because they're a Anheuser-Busch.
because
weed Busch.
look,
Oh, that's
if
funny.
you know anyone who smokes weed, there's always that one annoying person that's like, man, if weed was legal, I wouldn't never drink anymore. And
Yeah, but they're full of shit.
Well, that's the thing, but there's so many people that say that.
There's so many people I know. It's like I just want to get high, have a beer simultaneously.
Yeah, but I know a lot of people like, man, I would never drink again if weed was legal. I would just smoke weed all the time. And I'm sure that there
There's some
are
people.
some people that's the case, but in reality,
But,
that's not.
Yeah,
what's
my whole
happening.
thing is like everyone else that like is gonna just start.
Like, I would smoke weed if it was legal, and I could just run down to the store and be like, oof, I need milk and bread and eggs, oof, and a couple J's. Yeah.
But my point is that like the people that are gonna smoke pot probably were doing it anyways, just getting it illegally. So why do they think that the other consumer habits are gonna change any when they were just getting it anyway?
Because of ease.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't want to have to call a guy who calls a guy who calls a guy and get, like, marked up 20 times because it's past 17 hands before it gets to me. Just let me just go through the government's hand and go ahead and pay that big old chunk.
Yeah.
And I can just get it conveniently at
And
probably not Walmart.
and safely.
And safely.
No. My point is, why would that make me spend less on alcohol? It would be this. That's what I'm saying.
Because if you have a large enough amount of people telling the researchers, hey, I'm going to do this if this is this, then there's going to become a belief. Like I know
They may not do it in practicality, but they're
I know,
saying
Derek,
it.
that in your mind it makes no sense, but the people who are in the industry did research that led them to believe it would make sense. So,
But reality has shown the
yeah,
otherwise.
they need to hang out with more people that drink and smoke weed.
Right?
well, I'm going to hazard a guess, Derek, that your average liquor store owner has hung out with more people who do that than you.
God, I hope. Well,
Because you don't hang out with that many people.
not anymore.
So that was neat little study. They're also,
Right.
but they said caution on that because younger people are seemingly drinking less. Mm-hmm. And so they're saying that like changes in this type of stuff can happen very rapidly,
Right.
Like generationally, like very rapidly. So it remains to be seen. So we haven't tried it yet, but I got this wicked cool Bird Dog apple whiskey, and I got it because the shot glasses look like shotgun shells.
It's so cool. They're
It's real
shot
cool.
glasses.
Ooh.
It's awesome.
all right. So
Ooh, it smells real appley.
Real apple.
Ooh, this smells like
It smells like beam apple.
it smells like beam apple, but like turned up a little bit.
It is 80 proof.
Ooh.
80 proof.
Oh, what is that? Oh, what is that?
Oh, y'all are tasting.
Oh, what
it.
is
I
that? What
thought
is that?
Oh, that's
Oh, that aftertaste is whoa. Hi,
it
yi,
any
yi.
Did you guys sip it or did you shoot it?
I don't know. I sipped.
I took half a shot. I
Ay,
just
ay, ay.
kind of sipped it.
Is it because I scorched my tongue yesterday on that
No,
spicy ketchup?
there's a lot more going on there than
It's
beam
like
apple.
punched me in the face with like cinnamon, but not really cinnamon. Is it cinnamon? What is this?
I don't know. I don't think it's actually.
Hold on, let me go again. Let me go again. Oh, this is me officially. I fucked up my dry January, and so cheers.
But in her defense, it's the only shot she's taking.
And in my defense, this is all I'm drinking. I messed up my food part last night and today, so I figure while I'm already off track, let me drink as part of the
Yeah.
podcast.
And plus, this is apple, and, you
and
really
it's apple. I
you really
love
like
whiskey, apple whiskeys.
It's not really cinnamon, but there's
There is a something there.
something there.
So what
Ah.
you guys are
It's not
tasting
awful, but
is
hi.
is
Aye.
the kind of notes that people generally reference in whiskey tastings to begin with, and it's spice. When people say spice, when it comes to
I feel it in my
tasting notes,
nose.
I mean, it's spicy. It's like a different type of spice. You feel it more than you taste it.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Okay, well then when someone describes
Like
a
I
whiskey
like it
as
when it's
being-
actively in my mouth. I like it when I'm actively drinking it. But as soon as it's out of my
finish?
mouth, I don't like it.
because you don't like
The afterbirth.
Yeah, I don't like the. It's got a real spicy afterbirth. I mean, it's not awful. I mean, this was pretty cheap. That whole big old bottle was like what, $15 with the shot glasses.
18 with the shot glasses.
Yeah, so I mean, it came with the shot glasses. It was fairly inexpensive.
Yeah.
Which, for that size of beam apple, I would pay more. But I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah.
But that Maybe if it was mixed with a Sprite, that would maybe cut that
Maybe.
spicy
Cut that.
bits. Anyway.
Yeah. All right, so let's dive into our next bit of news. So on Ted Cruz Beard Watch, the beard has grown in a fair bit.
I've
now.
seen it. Yeah. It's kind of salt and peppery.
Yeah, he is kind of older,
Well, it
but
happens.
the criticism of it is that one side comes to a very sharp point on one side, and the other is more rounded on the corners.
So he's not even on his grooming.
Yeah, so there was a funny. I read an article that someone was like, they talked to it was a woman writing the article, and they talked to like a beard insider, and they said that like they felt like someone, because it's like
Was messing with him.
well, like beard men in the know would have like someone if he had a bearded friend that liked him would have told him that, hey man, you need to invest in a beard trimmer.
I assume he's the kind of person that would just get a nice haircut at a place, and they would.
Wait, so are we assuming he's just letting it grow all natural, and that's just how it's growing in?
Apparently, he is letting it grow. Apparently it's getting some length to it.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I've seen it.
Apparently, it's got some curl.
It's not bad,
But anyway,
actually.
so that's not why I brought up
Okay.
the news. Why I brought up the news was a rabbi in Israel went super hyperbolic and was like, "This is going to help Middle Eastern peace because
What?
he's going to be able to intimidate Islam." And,
because he's wearing a beard?
It was way over the top.
Oh, my.
So a couple other rabbis came out and commented on it. But anyway, so there's this great quote. So this is Rabbi Lubavitch of Utah said that beards have a special significance in the Jewish tradition. And I quote, "Jewish mysticism speaks at great length how a beard is deeply connected to God's 13 attributes of mercy. And as such, the beard is a strong representation of divine kindness and peace. I hope that Senator Cruz, Congressman O'Rourke, and any others trying it out find indeed the blessing of the beard in their life."
The blessing of the
I
beard.
want that tattooed on me
blessing of the
somewhere.
beard.
The blessing of the beard.
Yeah.
I feel like I just need to just.
the blessing of the beard. Like a big,
Let the
like,
blessing of the beard be upon you, my child.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like.
I love this.
memorize
This is
that
great.
quote.
May the beard be upon you.
Yes.
May the beard be upon
It's gonna
you.
be amazing.
And
Yeah.
upon you.
I'm just gonna start telling people
love
anytime
it.
they're like, "Derek,
I love
your
it.
We
beard."
could get some shirts made. We could throw a shirt up on our
Yeah.
thing like, "May the blessing of the beard be upon you."
Hey, I like
Yeah.
it.
I just
do
want to
this.
start telling people that when they're
Dig
like,
it, I
"What's
dig it.
what's the best thing about you, Derek?" I'm just like,
I'm blessed with a glorious
I have
beard.
13 whatever holy.
Yeah, the
Noble attributes.
the 13
13
noble attributes or
of
whatever.
mercy of God or whatnot. Like it, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna own it. Send
You
me,
see this
I need you to
luscious
send me that
beard?
link
Yeah,
later.
I will.
My beard means I'm godly and benevolent.
Yeah. So I know you
Is
have.
that why Hitler was a real dick?
Because he has
He didn't have a beard. He had
tiny-
such a tiny amount of facial hair, and your amount
I mean,
of facial
I
hair
think
directly
it probably-
corresponds
I
with
think
how nice you are.
There's probably a little bit more at play
Correlation,
there, but-
causation, same thing.
I
I think.
suspect there was some brain damage that had a problem that had something to do with
I
it
think
too.
I think there was more at play than the size of the mustache there, but we'll
But
let the historians decide that one. Jesus. All right, so my last bit of news, if we're going to even do it, is kind of longer. So let's go ahead and do.
I have
your-
news.
Yeah, let's do your news.
Ooh, my.
and then
Cool,
Mine
so-
is less an article of news and more like a recommendation.
Okay. Well, you guys know that we're currently experiencing the government shutdown,
Yeah.
right? Well, this.
No, I know nothing about this.
Oh, you work for the state. Does it really affect you?
Yeah.
Technically, my job is provided by the federal government.
Oh, so your
Yeah.
money comes from the feds and you dole it out. Oh, yeah, because you dish out grants. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is
It's been a fun week.
Are you getting paid?
Yeah.
Okay.
The state pays him.
No,
well-
I don't. They don't.
The state doesn't pay you. I
My
pay
jo-
you because your paycheck comes directly out of my paycheck.
What directly, penny for penny?
Yes. Yes. I hope you enjoyed that whole like $75 that came out of my paycheck for 2 weeks. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Anyway.
so this little news clippet is shutting down the fermentation regulation. Okay. So with the partial government shutdown, it has shut down a lot of the activities for the Treasury Department's Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau, and they oversee alcoholic beverages. They approve new labels and formulations. They sign off on like startups and expansions, acquisitions, all that kind of stuff. So craft breweries who put out all of these seasonal beers and new labels, they can't. Not even a label, dude. They have to have their labels approved. So like Sam Adams, they always do a seasonal beer, Sierra Nevada, like they are sitting on beer that they cannot bottle and sell, or they're holding off producing new beers because their old beer is still sitting in the kegs because they can't bottle it and send it.
Does this mean they're just going to start giving it away?
Well, I think it's just going to sit there and run, honestly, probably.
That was my thing, is if it's going to go bad, then they should just like
or they're just
going to
drink it themselves.
Parties around where they are and like get some really good PR.
Yeah. Well, they've brewed this stuff, but they don't have federal approval for like their new formulas and labels.
Well, they're probably not doing it yet because the government shutdown's only been 2 weeks.
No, but some of these people, like they have had their formulation brewing for 10 months and their label is stuck and they can't send it out.
I completely get that.
Yeah.
My point is 2 weeks is not going to ruin it. Now, if the shutdown,
when you're having to turn out 3 and 4 of these, let me finish my article before you start rebutting the article. Hello, friend. Okay, so it's estimated that there's like tens of millions of dollars of sales that are going to be potentially lost through craft brew, because like your craft brew drinker, they're not really brand loyal. It's just like, hey, I want to try this. Hey, I want to try that. So if the thing that you've been drinking last ain't there, you're gonna switch to something else and not really notice that your whatever is gone. So Prairie Artisan Ales in Oklahoma, they have $500,000 worth of their Fudge stout. It's like a chocolate stout that they made with brownies. It's just sitting and they can't sell it. They have 75 people. That's 60% of their first quarter revenue that they can't sell.
Right.
And like they're saying that it's going to take probably several months for the TBB, that Trade Bureau, to work through all of the backlog of approve my label, here's my new formula, all that stuff. And like let me scroll down. I'm getting ahead of myself. So new labels for all that stuff. And it's not just beers, it's ciders, malt beverages, that kind of stuff too. Boston Beer, and they make Sam Adams, their summer ale. They can't go forward with brewing their summer ale to be ready for this summer because their recipe hasn't been approved. Right. Like they have other stuff like a Himalayan salt thing that they're trying. They can't get it on. They can't put labels on their kegs, like nothing. They can't do anything. And what they have is just sitting in their big old vats.
Right. But here was my point.
Okay.
2 weeks.
Yes.
That Fudge is not going to ruin in 2 weeks. Is the point I'm making. But I know there's going to be a backlog and stuff like that, but like 2 weeks does not create a 4-month backlog. They already had a built-in backlog.
Okay.
So like I understand there is a risk if the shutdown goes on long enough and they are losing out on current sales, but what Derek was saying, like, we'll give it away before it goes bad. Like, I don't think we're at that point yet because the beer's not going to go bad that quickly, is the point I was trying to make.
I think a lot of it is like they can't do anything else and it's just sitting there because they can't bottle it. They can't label it. They can't move it from wherever it is right now.
I wonder if they could bottle it. I know they can't, like, put the label on it, but could they still go ahead and put it in bottles? Because a lot of them, a lot of these smaller places, they put the labels on by hand anyway. It's not like it's running through a bottling machine and putting a label. I wonder if they could.
But if your formulation isn't approved and you have to dump it all, then you've wasted all those bottles instead of just.
Well, I imagine they probably have to get the formulation approved before they start brewing. That's why Boston hasn't started.
They can't do
it.
Yeah, they can't start their summer ale.
Why would you invest all that money on a formula
doing
that
it? I get that.
Potentially not get approved.
But like, there's a cider maker
could be wrong on that.
In Austin that they're having to wait on a line of ciders because the alcohol content's just above 7%, so they have to get approved. Mm-hmm. Like, there's some workarounds. Texas has a thing where, like, if you brew in-state, you can sell in-state without having federal approval. So
because Texas is awesome.
Yeah.
That's a stretch. So
everything's bigger there.
Yeah, but it's Texas.
Why are you so hateful?
Tanya,
It's hot and dry.
Tanya,
Hateful.
you were just talking about fucking Ohio. I don't want to hear you badmouth.
No,
Texas.
I was just saying that it was close to Canada. I didn't say it
You
was
were just
good.
talking about Canada. I don't want you to badmouth Texas.
Hey, Canada's great. I just read.
It's cold.
Yeah, but
like
there's
the
also
cold.
moderate
If
climates.
you can't like... Texas has some moderate climates.
I don't think so. I think it's all
you
desert. I'm pretty sure it's all desert and cactuses
Have you been like at night?
and concrete.
Do you know how
I
cold
don't-
it gets?
I don't think that's accurate.
That's not,
I'm pretty sure that that's what that is.
You know, part of it is basically...
It's
just
all desert and
Louisiana.
tornado.
Do you know how big Texas is?
Real large.
Real big.
Larger
You
than
think
a lot
it's
of
all
countries.
exactly the same.
Yes.
You don't.
Homogenous state.
Keep moving. Keep
Desert.
moving. Keep moving. Move along.
So, but yeah, like the Jester King Brewery in Austin, they've redirected like the 5 new beers that they had initially set out to go nationwide. They're just selling it in Texas, so they don't have to get the federal label approval. So that shrinks their market. I mean, yeah, they can still sell it, but they can't
Yeah.
sell it everywhere. But Fair Isle Brewing, they bought a place in Seattle to be able to start brewing there, but they have to get their license to be able to brew. So they purchased a place. Well, they can't get their license to brew, and they have their tanks sitting there. So, like, they have an empty facility and empty vats just wasting
Yeah.
money. So, yeah. Well, I have empty tanks sitting in an empty facility if the shutdown goes too much longer. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the thing.
Could bode
like
poorly.
2 weeks, it sucks, but it's not the end of the fucking world.
Yeah.
But like if this stretches on to
If it keeps going, then it's
like
gonna
if this
go.
stretches on for a couple months, then we're going to get to the point where people are going to have to start throwing beer away. Like beer doesn't last forever.
Well, I mean, if
you
it
know?
lasts a lot longer, we're gonna have riots because people aren't getting paid. I mean, like that's gonna be a
Well,
problem.
yeah, but it's hipsters working at craft beer places. Are you
Okay,
really?
but I don't
are you really
mean
that
I don't mean
scared
just
of a
the
hipster
craft
riot?
brewery. I'm just
A
talking about
hipster
in
riot?
general the TSA people and the people who are having to work.
Oh,
without
you're
getting
talking
paid.
about the federal workers.
The people who are actually
Oh.
having to work.
Bob was like living in the context of this.
Yeah,
I thought
no.
we were talking about
I
the
think
craft brew.
larger context. We're gonna have riots.
Just throw some mustache wax at them and they'll be happy. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I mean, like, if you think about these facilities who have to turn out all of these different brews,
Yeah.
multiple a year, a 2-week thing could really hurt them.
Yeah, but here's the one thing, though. They're all having this problem. It's not like it's affecting some and not others.
Fair.
And the other thing is, unless you're a new brewery, at least you do have some beers
product out.
you can sell.
Yeah.
Like you could.
Well, that's
you
like-
could push come to shove, just go back to selling your. I don't. I saw where Daniel from Interstellar was on the news talking about.
Oh, cool.
I didn't watch the piece. I saw like a little clip. Like I
Yeah.
think it was just like someone did a screen grab of him. So I don't know what actually got said. But like think about like Interstellar, like so.
Just brew the same thing until
Well,
you
yeah,
can
you know,
brew
it's not
something
like
different.
Interstellar's not. I didn't watch the clip, but I'm assuming they're not going to go out of business because the government shut down.
Yeah.
You know, I see their updates all the time. They're still doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like, but I know that they were in the process of starting their first. I think they're doing their first non-ginger beer.
I would be
think.
interested in that. I'm not a big
But-
ginger fan.
You need to know.
Yeah, you still need to try.
We need to
we
go,
need
up
to go
there
on a
and try
trip.
it.
Oh, we do need to go on a field
Yeah,
trip.
we do.
Yeah.
But well, like Sierra Nevada, they're getting around this by just tweaking the colors in an old label. So nothing's changing. They're not changing the formula, but they're going to be like, all right, well, we're going to re-release this, and instead of an orange label, it's going to be blue, and it's going to look exactly the same.
Okay.
So
Well, that's neat. That's informative and real shitty, but
Thanks.
unexpected consequences.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, I'm curious about this because like I know some people have been like, oh, it's gonna be even worse because it's gonna create a backlog, but like I'm curious as to how long it's really gonna delay stuff once we get everything
running.
up and running.
Well, they were saying that the last time the government shut down
Mm-hmm.
in 2013, that there was a backlog that they were able to work through fairly quickly, but the craft brewery market has gone from
Wasn't.
like 2,900 to
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
18,000.
yeah, see, that's what I
Okay,
was.
So
gonna
like
s-
we have a substantially larger number.
One would hope that they have added staff, but
yeah,
knowing the
because-
government,
Doubtful.
Well, no, knowing the government, they absolutely did because.
right?
Well, anyways, but
Yeah.
the reason I say that is because we're in a situation where like we're about to be where we can't give
job.
people money,
Yeah.
but we're still working. So like we have everything sitting at the gate
ready to go.
as soon as that
As soon
stuff
as you
goes
get money,
live
it's like-
again.
So I
Poop
mean,
in
I'm
the
sure
chute.
I'm
It's
assuming
just
these
flooding
people are
through.
probably still reporting to work. They may be
Exactly.
looking at this stuff and just going ahead
and
like
getting it
eyeballing
as far as they possibly.
Maybe.
I don't know.
If I was having to show up to work anyway, that's what I would be doing. Just so when I did get paid,
I can tell you from personal experience, I am actually doing all of the everything I can possibly do, checking everything. So they're basically, if they're doing what I am being told to do and what I am actively doing at work, you're gonna have all the work done. It's just sitting there, and
You're just gonna submit it on the day that the money is there.
Yep, because you've already done all the checking, you've done all the legwork, you've done everything you were supposed to do. You just
Can't officially
Right. Yeah.
finish it.
So hopefully that'll accelerate things.
Yeah,
as soon
Maybe.
as-
one would hope, but
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe they've all been doing like a sick out. Like, was it the TSA? Like some of them have been doing sick outs.
I would. Fuck, I wouldn't go to work.
Well, I
Not
don't know.
getting
That would
paid.
burn all my sick time. Anyway, so my last little thing was I found a neat little article. It was 10 great books that you can read in one sitting.
Ooh.
And I know some of us are doing like 52 books in a year challenges. So I thought this would be neat, a quick way to kind of boost your numbers a little bit. I'm just going to run through very quickly the list, and if you've read it, just like pipe up.
Okay.
The Death of Ivan Ilyich by Leo Tolstoy.
Reddit.
No.
Train Dreams by Dennis Johnson.
No.
No.
No. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. Yup.
Yes.
I own that.
The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway.
Yeah.
Yes.
I actually reread that in the past year. The Stranger by Albert Camus.
No.
No. Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck.
Yeah.
Fuck that book.
I read that last year
Fuck
to
Steinbeck.
pad my numbers.
I haven't read it.
Fahrenheit 451
Yeah.
by Ray Bradbury.
Read that
I
one.
actually haven't.
Yeah, me
Y'all
neither.
think you both would enjoy it?
No.
I've read a comic of it, but not the book itself.
Yeah, the book is good.
The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. Nope.
No.
The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
I think I was
Yep.
supposed to, but
I read
no.
it in high school,
Yeah.
but I don't remember it. I
read
put
it
it
in
on my
high school.
TBR because if I don't remember it, it doesn't count.
Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut.
Yeah.
I have not.
Vonnegut's real
I
good.
want
I enjoy
to.
Vonnegut.
And that was it. That was the list. So
Yeah.
kind of neat.
Read some of those.
There's also, if you have Kindle Unlimited, there's some other kind of shorter reads. The Dungeoneers series are real good. I
Yeah.
would recommend that.
Are they though?
Oh yeah. So real quick, talk about what have you read this week? I'll start us off. I read Ready Player One. It was okay.
We ain't talking about it later.
Yeah, I read American Hippos, which is 2 novellas with a fabulous premise. Apparently, this is true fact. At one point, America looked into importing hippos to be like water cows. They were going to be a meat product.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Well,
Except
I
for
don't-
they're terrifying and will
yeah,
kill
they're
you.
the most
Oh,
dangerous
yeah.
critter in Africa,
Yeah.
like by far. Anyway, so but these 2 novellas are kind of like westerns set in Louisiana.
Love it.
If this had actually happened, like these people ride hops. That's what they call them. You know, they're hoppers. They're not cowboys. They're hoppers. They ride their hops.
Those
Nice.
are some
Nice.
brave people riding
they-
around a fucking hippo.
Well, they train them from birth, kind of deal. So yeah, but no, it's great. It was great.
Well, I mean, I ain't riding around a damn bull.
Yeah. I also read The Prophecy Con by Patrick Weeks, which was the second book in a series. It was really good. And then I am like an hour, I think, from being done with the Stormglass audiobook. So,
I have not read anything. I don't think I did anything but work all week.
womp womp.
Yeah.
Oh, no, on the way down here, I started Jade City back since hopefully we'll be doing a cat podcast on it in the future.
Audiobook.
Yep.
I start doing that when I drive everywhere.
So this week I finished Behind the Mask by Brandon Kennedy.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah, so finished that. I finished the audiobook for Ready Player One. I have thoughts. I'll save them for a later time.
Well, we're gonna do a full podcast.
Yeah.
On
How long is that book, by the way?
that. Not very.
Not super long.
long enough.
With a spoiler.
No, I'm not the target for this book.
I don't think. Okay, well,
But anyway, so I finished Behind the Mask, Ready Player One, and I am essentially finished. I have 20 minutes left, so I'm just going to say I'm done with The Rule of One by Ashley Saunders and Leslie Saunders. It's a book about like America has gone down the shitter and total authoritarian thing with drones and microchips and shit, and you can only have one kid. And,
Why
no, they had
a
twins.
dystopian book?
I mean, I guess it's YA. Yeah. If it's dystopia, then it's
Neat.
modern dystopia. It's YA typically, but
Yeah.
it's written by.
real
I'm
common.
assuming that these two sisters are twins, and our two protagonists are twins. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
It was fine.
Neat. Well, that's
It was free on Kindle Unlimited, so
Yeah, there you go.
Check it out.
free is my favorite.
Right. That's why she's. Oh no, she's not. She lost the title. Back on page.
Freelance.
No.
Oh
Sorry.
wait, why? I don't want to. I shouldn't be emphasizing the free. I should be like Paylance, Tanya.
You dumb.
Well, on that note, I think we're going to end this episode since she's getting uppity.
Amy.
So,
No.
as always, as the week goes on, I hope that you will take this page out of
Oh,
Ted
gosh, this
Cruz's
Apple
book.
stuff.
Go
Please.
forth and grow
Grow a
a
great beard.
well, in his case, grow a beard.
Well,
A
Is it-
majestic, what is it? The beard of
The beard of
Majesty's
mercy.
Yes.
mercy.
Yeah. May the blessing of the beard be upon you.
There you go.
That needs to
Oh,
be our
is
new.
that
That needs to be the
That is,
outro.
May
yeah.
the blessing of the beard be upon you. I like it. 'cause
I
that-
like it.
Then I'm not putting pressure on women to grow a beard.
Or
'cause-
guys
just
who
the
can't grow
blessing of
beards.
it. They can
Yeah,
have.
they can have
May
the
the blessing of the beard be upon
can be
you.
a lot of things.
Tanya, I feel like you have a beard on the inside.
She
I was
does.
actually having a philosophical conversation with Jeff. Shout out to Jeff, a guy I work with who listens to our podcast. He's like, you don't have a beard. I was like, but I think the beard is more of a state of mind.
Okay, I'm sorry
than
to
a
go-
physical manifestation of facial hair.
I'm sorry to go sideways on you guys, but did either of you watch Dexter's Laboratory back in the day?
Yeah.
Dexter's Laboratory.
Did you see the episode
No.
where he got super excited because his favorite action hero guy that had a beard, he grew a beard and started hanging out with him, and then his beard got cut, and they were like, "Don't worry, you still." Basically, he was like, "The beard's on the inside."
The beard's on the
Nice.
inside.
I-
I think
that's-
it's more of a
yeah,
philosophical way of
yeah.
life.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, the
that's what
blessing
we
of the
that's what we tell
Well,
you.
I'll go in. We'll
Yeah.
dial in on this. We'll look up
Thanks.
the rabbinical traditions of bearddom and get back
Yeah.
with y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. In the coming week, may the blessing of the beard be upon you.
Bet. Thanks for listening to this episode of Books, Beards, Booze. Our co-hosts are Bob, Derek, and Tanya. Our producer is Bob. For more information, visit our website, booksbeardsbooze.com. Follow our social media at Tales by Bob. If you enjoyed this podcast, please rate, subscribe, and share. Okay, bye.